that we are frequency, that we are energy, and that our energy is calling in or repelling other energies is very helpful. And especially within our family dynamics, because they're the ones we see the most, like I have said in other videos. They're the ones that we are constantly trying to either please, or we are in some kind of energetic exchange. It can be positive, it can be negative. Nothing ever stays the same. Everything is on a continuum, right? And in this video, I talk about how I have seen and experienced the relationships that we have with our parents, and if you have children, your children, as aspects of ourself. The things that are unrealized. Or, what if I wish I had, and wow, that's what it looks like if I would have. And for me, when you actually have that awareness, or you look at it from that angle, your relationships, it's much easier to maneuver through the challenging situations, because you realize it's all part of the same thing. We all come from the same source. We're just extensions of it at different degrees and levels and dimensions. So when you understand that, you can appreciate it, and there's so much less resistance and suffering. So I hope that Hi, and welcome back. It's October the 11th, 2025, a beautiful fall morning. It's been raining and cool, but it definitely is, it's fall. Can't get away from it now. One thing I was thinking about lately, well, when am I not, is the idea of family and children, especially. And I've thought this forever, and I've shared this with a number of different people. Did you hear the girl? Seer crew? It's been following us. How do you see children or yourself as a child? Like, do you envision that relationship as separate or an extension of? Do you have resistance with your family? Do you carry the burdens and the weight of events or stories that you've been told that really have sat with you unresolved, unacknowledged, unprocessed? And if you have children, how do you view your relationship with them? Again, do you view them as separate or an extension of yourself? Or do you even think about it? And I know in one of my previous videos not long ago, I talked about family and karma and how we oftentimes see ourselves kind of in this bubble as having been a victim. And society, constructs of society push that idea that you've been somehow wronged, harmed, your whole life has been disrupted, and you need to heal from that in order to grow and move and evolve. And I think that there are aspects of that that very well need to be addressed and acknowledged. And for me, it's the awareness of it. It's seeing it and then processing it through how it is fuel for you. So ignition to spark something, to get movement and momentum in a new trajectory of energy, on a new frequency, on a new plane, on a new level. So for me, when I think of myself with my parents or my children, I think of them as not only extensions, but projections of each other. So I am a projection from my mother and father. So aspects of themselves either, and I think unrealized, different than. Pieces are the same, but this unrealized potential, aspects of self. So there could be parts of you that are self-doubt or fear or things that either stopped you from doing something, from achieving that goal, from fulfilling that dream, or a societal pressure that didn't allow you to maneuver and have the opportunity for the things that you wished you could have achieved and created. So looking at my parents, I would say I am an extension of my father, who very much held to the rigid structural outline of what it means to be a man, a male, in a patriarchal society, to be the provider, to be dependable, the one that you go to for advice, that is the one who directs the way everything should be and will tell you if that is right or not. And there is a softer version of that that comes out every now and again, but then it flips back to the original form and shape. So completely being successful at what he was and his experiences informed him he should be. And I am an aspect of him that comes out. So there were so many things that this is just how I see it. There's so many things that he wished he would have done, like looking back, retrospect 2020, hindsight. And my fearlessness, my stepping into and doing it and trying it and failing or doing well at it or whatever, but just the idea that I would take chances and risks was outside of anything that he was taught to do, that his experiences taught him to do. And that's not to say that he didn't take risk. I'm talking the risks that I take are not the risks that he would take. And that's where conflict can occur in relationships, because we're using lenses of what our experiences are to inform the choices that we make. And when they don't align or agree with other people, especially in your family unit, who lived very different lives. You can be in the same house and live a completely different life. There are every possible scenario of reasons why they're different. And with my mother, very feisty, very strong-willed, very anti-patriarchy, and yet the time that she lived in, the environment she was raised in, all of these limiting aspects of her experience fueled me to question more, to challenge more, to wonder why. And the fact that I am doing that, on some level, I believe, again, these are just my thoughts and feelings, challenges her experience because she was not able to do that. So there's an aspect in her, that unrealized potential. So I'm an extension of them, those different aspects of self that were unrealized, and I am doing it. And then you look at your children. And when I look at my children, I see myself in every single one of my children. Well, all three. And each one of them has different characteristics and features of either fears that I have held, beliefs that I have instilled in them, different curiosities I've held, different values and moral structures, all the things that parents do, just like mine did for me. And as they move forward in their adult life, creating the version of themselves that they are choosing, I can see it in a way that it's like looking at each of my children going, if I would have done this thing myself, I would be exactly where my one child would be. If I followed this part of myself, I would be here. If I followed this part of myself, there. And so when we actually see this and look at our family units as extensions of aspects of ourselves, it's so easy to understand why we have so many challenges with family. Because how many people like to stand in front of a mirror and stare at themselves and all of the different parts of themselves that are uncomfortable or unrealized, or you have fear within, or you feel great joy, great pain, whatever the thing is, but stand there and make peace with those parts of self. And then vocalize and use words that are going to align with the experience that another is having, which is ultimately part of you. And it sounds so confusing even to me as I'm speaking it, but I can see it, I can picture it, and it makes complete sense. Bringing it back to center. So it's like one of those lightsabers that you get from, well, I guess Disneyland or some amusement parks, where you flick them out and they come out in different layers. So the flashlight's here, then it goes out and it goes out and it goes out. And your kids are like out here, and then as it comes back, and then comes back again, and then it's back to source. And I think that ultimately that's it. We're sending out our signal with our children, extensions of ourselves, to seek new ways of being, new information, new experiences, and bring them back in. And while we sometimes aren't able to integrate that level of knowledge and learning from these different parts of ourselves, from our parents and their experiences, they're having to integrate what we bring back. And it doesn't always happen in words. There is an unspoken energy that happens within family units, within extensions of ourselves, our friends, everything else, where it's like feelers out in the world, collecting and gathering information. and bringing it back. Do you internalize all of it? Absolutely not. But once again, you take the tidbits that fill the gaps that were missing for you to make the road that helps you to keep moving forward. So the next time you get into an argument or dispute, or you're even looking at your family and feeling pride and joy, think about that. Think about that's a piece of you that is out there. And if you're experiencing conflict with that piece of yourself, maybe it is time to look in the mirror and to say, okay, why is this so triggering to me? Why am I having this experience? Why am I feeling so activated with my child, my parent, my sibling? Why? And why is it that I cannot have what I would see as resolution or peace or a mutual respect and understanding? And that, to me, also is it's very clear. We're not all on the same journey. So you're internalizing and you're processing and you're coming to this conclusion is you. That's you. That doesn't mean someone else is at the same place, and nor would you want them to be. It's not about all coming back together and hugging it all out. It's gathering information for yourself, elevating yourself, and that ripples out to everyone else and allows them to move and shift much easier to where they need to be. And you experience that. Release the old narratives that there is this identical way of being as an outcome that suggests success, completion. That doesn't exist. Worry about yourself. Stand in front of the mirror and feel pride, feel sorrow, feel whatever you feel, and come to terms with it as an important aspect of yourself, and to recognize that others are going through the same thing. And to have empathy and compassion for that, and respect for people who are willing to step into their awareness, because it is a very lonely and isolating experience. Until you see how interconnected everything really is. Until next time, everyone, stay safe and stay connected, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.